voice, and here we go. So, hello everybody, welcome. My name is Defying Zero, and this is the Our Lobbies. Boy, it's been a whole while since I did this interviews. Gosh, it's a long time. Hello, Mopal. Hello, hello. And yeah, so this will be a revival of an old stock stream that I used to do with a friend. Unfortunately, he's busy with his hotel management and stuff, so I am kicking this one alone with myself. And to start this thing off, nice and simple, we're gonna do one heck of an interview that I was happy to get around. He's part of the Guilty Gear scene of everything that's going on right now. It's the hottest topic, okay? Like we can't stop talking, we can't stop playing. Twitter can't even go along with what's going on. Gosh, endless tier list, endless tier list. But that's what's going on right now. So, for me, over in the West, who's joining me tonight? Well, tonight morning, wherever you are, is the Symbolist. So, hello, bud. How you doing?
Hey man, how are you? I'm doing pretty good myself. Excited for this interview.
Hey. It's all cool. It's amazing that I was able to get you around here through the Showdown server, and I'm happy that you were able to come in. So, in spite of how this is going right now, let's kick things off with a general, like the general of a general scope question. Like, let's ask you, who is the Symbolist? Can we get a little background check?
Yeah, I started playing fighting games back when Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger came out.
Oh, okay, you're so
There's
that old.
some,
You're that.
yeah, 2011 or so. I'm 27 years old, so I'm a little bit old, kind of middle-aged at this point, But I started playing Bang back in Calamity Trigger, and there's actually still videos of me under the old username I used to have of UEG Squall on YouTube when I was not very
Oh.
good at the game. You can go check out me embarrassing myself on YouTube if you look that up.
That's interesting. Because I also started out in Calamity Trigger, so this was actually cool news to know about it. As you said, you played Bang. What actually got you interested in playing Bang, by the way? Because I've seen you with Soul and Bang as well. How is it with this?
I'm not gonna lie, back when I was younger, I was like I think 16, 17 when Calamity Trigger came out, and back then I just I saw a ninja, and I
Uh
was
huh.
like I gotta play that guy. He looks sick. He's talking about green peppers. He's beating people up. He looks sick.
That's interesting. What about Soul though? You're playing Soul right now on Strive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting junction. Honestly, I didn't like Soul very much in Exerd. I didn't like Soul very much in Accent plus R. But something about, the clean hit combos, you can say that I'm just trying to ride the tier a little bit, maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
the Fafnir, the clean hit, Volcanic Viper combos, for some reason I just thought that was super sick. And I switched off Milia. And I haven't gone back.
Interesting. I heard also you played Milia. That's actually pretty cool. Um, Now, all right. Outside from Guilty Gear right now, my second question will be about what got you into fighting games, basically.
Um, I honestly, it was just because I saw advertisements for Blaze Blue. If I'm
Oh.
going to be honest, I was never much of a fighting game player, and then I was big into anime at the time. I was doing the My Anime TV list, the binge watching at midnight back in high school over the weekends, and for some reason I don't remember when I saw it or how I saw it, but I saw a poster of Ragna, Jin, and
Mm-hmm.
Noel, that first Calamity Trigger promotional poster at GameStop, and I was like, I gotta have this game, and I played it nonstop for like 2 years.
Uh huh. Interesting. So, as far as things go with Blaze Blue, that was the game that started you off.
Yeah, so I'd played
Mm-hmm.
I'd played the big ones that everybody's played, Tekken and Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, but I didn't like fighting games. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
I wasn't a big fighting game fan until I picked up Blaze Blue and took it seriously.
Uh huh. Interesting. Interesting. So that's how it is. At least, okay. That was interesting. We got to know how you actually got to the game and what so. But now, since we know that, how did you got to the FGC?
Um, Honestly, I just started joining tournaments. I joined every tournament I could find on Smash.gg. I came onto the Strive Showdown server. I thought these guys were really cool. It was one of the first tournaments that I did when I was trying to get good with Soul and Milia.
Uh huh.
And everybody was just so nice that I stuck around. And now we're commentating every Monday. We hold a tournament. I commentate and help out Jordan and the gang.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Interesting. By the way, shout out to Jordan for well, it's just like sending me the link to the server. It's there. You got an amazing people going on right there, bro. So thank you. And all right. Now, as part of the questions, I already asked you right that. Okay. Well, what do you play outside fighting games before? I mean, like even before you touch fighting games, what were you doing basically?
Oh yeah. I am a hyper competitive person.
Uh
So,
huh.
I have this buddy. His name's Bobby. He goes by Zypher, the Six Fox. He's played in a few of our tournaments. Me and him play pretty much every competitive game under the sun as soon as it comes out. We hop from game to game. Fighting games has always been our thing. He showed me Guilty Gear, Accent Core Plus R, beat me up for, weeks. And Guilty Gear Strive came out, and we played that together too. But I play shooters. I played League for
Oh man.
God, it's kind of embarrassing now. 8 years or so. I played since season one, so and then I quit sometime around like season nine or something like that.
No, no.
But I was playing League forever.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Like for me, before I actually browse like came with fighting games, I was actually playing League since back in high school no one was playing fighting games, so I didn't had a scene back then. I just had to find it till maybe around 2016 I got to my scene. So that's how I also got to know about fighting games.
Yeah, it just really, something about that competitive urge. You're one on one. It's just you and some guy, and you're putting it all on the table versus them. And you can't blame your teammates. You can't blame your bad support. You can't blame anyone but you and what you're up to. I
Mm.
feel like that really calls out to like competitive players.
Yep, yep, yep. Absolutely, absolutely. That's all right. Now, that's all jolly and all. Man, we all did play League at some point. So, what do you do for a living, by the way? What do you do for a living?
Yeah, I used to be Navy. I did 6 years in the Navy. So I know you told me that you're from Oman, you said, right?
Yeah, I was from Oman. I'm
I
from
had vis and I visited the UAE right next to you guys over there in 2017. I was there for a week. I was a nuclear electronics technician. So
Oh,
basically, I operated a nuclear reactor.
oh, damn.
Um, so I finished doing that because the hours were not very fun. We did 24-hour duty days, shift work, all that kind of crazy stuff. And so I got out of that, and now I'm doing kind of the same thing. I'm operating prototype reactors in the Pacific Northwest. So
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. So, I mean, as of wait, what about now? That's the same thing you're doing right now, but you're not in the Navy, is it?
yeah, yeah. So back in the Navy, I used to just operate like a reactor out to sea, and that was like a very rigid, determined environment. Like everything's solved, right? The ship's 50 years old. So
Mm.
right now, I work for a company that designs prototype reactors to,
Ooh.
create. We do molten salt, so we're working on a molten salt reactor to uh, basically develop new ways for nuclear energy to be used in America and abroad.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, so outside that, hmm, that's that's quite a lot of stuff. I didn't think you'd be that doing that around here until you told me that you're in the Navy. So that's interesting. There's a lot of people who are in different backgrounds that are like absolutely, how would I like to call, like, unique, to the atmosphere of how people play games and come around and see what's going on. You get what I mean, right? Like, because you don't expect
Oh
this kind
yeah,
of things. You would usually think,
absolutely.
yeah, usually think like these people are from, like, they're just doing some normal jobs. Out of that, you'd be like postal or like working as a you get what I mean. So, all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely. Back when I was playing Blaze Blue, I worked for Food for Less, so I definitely know how it is. I was pushing grocery carts around to make money in Las Vegas, so I used that money to go to Evo 2012.
Oh, so you've been to Evo itself. That's amazing. Gosh, I haven't been to one yet. But hopefully some other time when things goes around. All
Yeah,
right.
definitely. And when COVID's done, hopefully we can actually do in-person Evo again. People were complaining about the online code for this Evo, but
Oh my god.
hopefully sometime soon we'll be able to get in there and actually play in person again.
All right. Okay, so let me ask you this one. You got any favorite genres in games that you like playing? Like outside fighting and whatnot?
I've put in definitely fighting games is my favorite genre. But I've put in the hours in Valorant. I've played
Ooh.
League. I've played Dead by Daylight a lot. My buddies love that game. We've probably put in like 800 hours on Dead by Daylight. Games like essentially, if there's some kind of competitive aspect, I can probably get into it. Um, and
Hmm.
it's like designed pretty well.
Okay, that's actually interesting. So, are there any games that you're looking forward to?
Honestly, have you seen the trailers for Dungeon Fighter Duel?
Oh yeah, absolutely, I did. You're looking forward to that?
Absolutely. I mean that's one of the games that I used to play before I got really into fighting games. Me and my best buddy, we met on Maple Story of all things.
Oh
I've
my
known him for
god.
over 10 years now. And
Damn, Maple
so we
Story.
we met. Yeah, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
We met party questing on Maple Story, and then he said, "Hey, like, do you play Blaze Blue?" And I was like, "I do actually." And we played some Blaze Blue, and got into Dungeon Fighter Online, which I don't know if you've ever played Dungeon Fighter Online, but
Actually,
it's probably the grindiest MMO out there.
actually, if it wasn't for that Arc System trailer, I wouldn't have tried that. And I did. And as you said, it was freaking grindy.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it used to be like even worse back in the day because I think they added like a really linear. They added like a linear path to level up and get through the storyline. And back in the day, you just kind of had to figure it out. Like the game didn't really guide you as well. So if I didn't have my buddy there to teach me everything, I would have never got into it. But the best part of that game is the combo system, right? Like you're
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
playing like Streets of Rage, fighting like a fighting game in an anime form MMO. It's super cool.
It's actually pretty interesting. Like, I never heard of it, and I like after Arc System brought it out, I don't know, but there seemed to be a flux of new people coming to the game, including me. So even up to this day, I kind of still come back to it to just admire how the game is. I mean, I play it, but it's not kind of my type because of how things are in that game. You get me? But it's fun. It's
Oh
fun.
yeah,
It's fun. I think it would have been more
yeah.
fun back then if it was like all new and fresh up for me.
Definitely, and it's hard these days. Being 27, I don't have the time necessarily to just chill and play an MMO for 12 hours to try to level up. So, the fighting game, competitive game, 30 minutes, you play, you're set out or whatever, and you're on to your next one, or you can go take a break is definitely helpful.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. All right, now this is since we covered all the generals right now, I'm gonna move on to the main topics that I even told you about this before in private. That what we're gonna be talking about, and that's because I mean, like how the contrast is going over here in the West and the Middle East. So let's get to it. Um, so how is the state there in the West when it comes to the FGC? Like, how much was it affected back in 2020, and compare it to now? Like, how is it to the landscape of the FGC? Because here in the Middle East, it's like I can't describe it. It's like when COVID hit, it just blew out all the lights. So how was it for you guys?
Oh yeah, it was the same way. I mean, um, if you look at when COVID started first spreading around, it literally killed some fighting games because they don't have that great a netcode. I think Grand Blue versus,
Grant? Yeah, yeah.
a very casual, friendly, good entry point to fighting games, happened right in the middle of COVID. So who's gonna play it if you can't play online?
And not to
And
mention,
we
wait,
see the effects of that.
like not to mention the price point for that game was pretty expensive to get, and plus not many people were having jobs during this period, including myself.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, and it's yeah, it was a $60 game, $20 for the DLC, and then that was only one season. So if you wanted to play the other characters, that's another $20. I feel like a lot of people, if they can't even play it online, they're maybe not, interested in learning fighters in the first place. Yeah, bad online experience, high price point, pretty much killed the game. Um, and DBFZ, that was a
Yeah,
game where I feel like it survived only because it was a Dragon Ball franchise game.
yeah, because basically the weight of the franchise did like it carried it basically, and if it didn't have it has the name, it would have like been slept.
Oh yeah, 100%. And honestly, Dragon Ball Fighters is not my favorite game. I don't like tag games very much.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a great game. All those games are great. It's just for me, I think it's a little too much on the screen. It's very noisy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got you. I got you.
Uh some people are really into those games though, and I think that Dragon Ball Fighter Z definitely brought light to the fighting game genre by bringing Dragon Ball in. And Arc System Works got popular or was more popularized because of Dragon Ball being a part of its franchise. So it definitely helped out Guilty Gear Strive. So I'm happy for that.
By the way, guys, if you got any questions for Symbolist, you can actually put it on the chat. I will pick it up and ask him if you need anything. If you guys are here, no problem. Like, but you know what to do. You get the gist. All right, so that's pretty much what really happened here with us too. Uh, Street Fighter Five. God, that game you need like a mentality drive to actually kick everything because the rank was like I mean not the rank, the netcode was killed over here in the Middle East when Capcom did their the guild update, bruh, it killed everything. It was nuts because we cannot find matches. And Tekken was like a bump rush here. I can't say much for the other fighting games, but it's just like a headache.
Yeah, yeah. I think people are really starting to see the benefit of having good netcode, because you can't just always cater to your offline audience as much as you want to have a very competitive game. The people who are playing online are just as important. Moople asked,
Yeah,
why is
why?
Garuda Impact my favorite move? Garuda Impact is my favorite move because it makes you plus 29 if you do it on wake up, and your opponent can't do anything. And I think that's really good. Pot definitely needs it, and I hope they never nerf it. That's why it's my favorite move.
You know what that you know what's that move actually reminds me? When I saw like, oh my god, that's so plus. I was like, wait, is it this feels like I'm playing Order Soul for a second. Cuz you know how much when you charge up his levels, it just makes him so plus. And you get the same feeling with this one, but it's like constant. It's like it's so
Yeah, yeah.
constant.
It's just every time you're knocked down, you just hear Garuda impact like 12 times a match. It's so fun. It's very fun. I love it.
I love it too. It's just still good. I don't even play pot, but man, yeah, that move is just a serious kicker, and I hope it doesn't get nerfed. It's a really good move itself.
Yeah, yeah. I think Garuda Impact really brings out the interactive, skill-based reactionary gameplay of Guilty Gear. I think it really brings that back from the old Guilty Gear games.
Yeah.
So I don't think they should get rid of it for sure.
Sir Emo Chungston says last in Jacko attack command being plus 15 non-meaty.
Oh yeah, that one always throws me off just because you get hit by the attack command and it looks so small and
Yeah.
I want to jump. I want to jump out of the next one, but you can't do it. You'll get hit. I always want to jump away. It gets me every time.
Yeah, it's like it was confusing in the first time too. I was like, wait, that's plus? Wait, that was plus? That was the question that hammered me the first time I got hit by it. It was just, huh? Oh gosh, God, I could talk about it all day, but it's just nuts. Okay, like, um, since the question was already answered, are you now able to was this go do and make offline events, or is everything still online? Is your local scene available for doing things offline, or you're still running this like your tournaments online itself?
So I don't know how the COVID situation's going for you guys over there. Some places in the US, um, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, they don't really care. Which is, it's not a good thing per se. But well, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so the Seattle area, and
Yeah.
my county in particular is now back on full lockdown. So you can't go anywhere without a mask. Those kind of gatherings, I don't think they're exactly allowed. I don't think game stores are really still doing the same thing for Magic
Wait,
the Gathering is a thing. I'm not sure if Magic the
wait, wait,
Gathering
wait,
tournaments are
wait.
back either.
Wait, is it a complete lockdown? Like you guys are locked up, or you can still move around?
Oh, no, no, yeah. So essentially the way it used to be is that you could only go to like the stores and stuff.
Uh huh.
And now we finally got to not having masks in public outdoors. Um, and then people, because of that, I feel like just stopped wearing masks. You know how it is. Like people will take a mile if you give them an inch.
Mm-hmm.
So that caused the cases to spike back up, and now a lot of those kind of gatherings I feel like are a little restricted. I'm not totally caught up on the on like the exact rules our governor has laid out,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that most people are just doing online events still. Most people don't really try to gather in public for tournaments or things like that, especially for like the Magic the Gathering scene, which I try to be a part of out here as well.
Yeah, I can remember that. I mean, I do play Magic the Gathering, but I'm still forteed with Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh is so cool. They made it so crazy, but I remember I used to play that game all the time when I was like 14, 15. I was playing in this game store by my old house in Kansas. And I used to know the store owner. They let me vacuum their store to
mhm.
get like $10 a week, and I'd use it to buy cards at their shop.
That's cool. That's cool. I like. Okay, look for us. Even I can't say for much of the other places, but for what I heard, I have a friend, and even my aunt was like there in Australia. A friend of mine who actually is part of the scene for like the fighting game scene. He cannot do anything because the whole place is still in total lockdown. So everything is like online, even especially with us here. But we got vaccinated. Like most of this country, as if I can speak for it, already has been like they got all vaccinated. However, we're still running stuff online, and notably for us, we're doing all the Guilty Gear Strive tournaments online, mainly a 3v3 Hokkaido style tournament hosted by none other my man Shaker, Flame of Nova. If you're interested on seeing the like the scene here in the Middle East, like how we play and how different it is, or like the uniqueness of getting like names and different names. We have people like Latif. I don't know if you heard about Slasho, Bumano, but Latif is one of the bigger names we have here that plays. What's this? That plays Strive. Izato is amazing, and all of the tournaments we're doing right now is just online. Everything is online, 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 online. We can't afford to take, an offline event because of what's going on right now. You're not even sure if it's safe, and people are still, even myself, I'm not sure. Even my parents are not sure. People here are not sure about whether the vaccine is really that, is gonna like help it fight back. Though we did take it, just to be extra precautious, we take the mask, we take it everywhere. We don't remove it. It's already engraved in our head, you know that. So it's kind of different to see how it is with there in the West, where people are taking off the mask, and some people don't want even to take the vaccine, which is crazy. I don't know
Oh
what's going.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on around
I
there.
mean, you if you come to the West, you'll see. I mean, it's a wild variety of opinions here. Even out here in the Pacific Northwest, it's quote unquote, liberal or however you want to call it. But even out here, we got people who, they don't want to wear their masks in public. They don't want to get the vaccine. Vaccine hesitancy is very high right now. Um, and out there for you guys, that's awesome that you guys are all taking the vaccine and wearing
Yeah,
masks, even
yeah,
if like you might not totally think it will help everything, but part of it's just the fact that like again, like you said, if you did hold a offline event, then you're not really sure that
you
you
never
might
know.
get
You never
sick.
know. Actually,
So
it's
yeah, so like you can't risk like most of us don't make money independently. We're not independently wealthy off fighting games as much as that would be sick.
mm,
So you can't afford to lose 2 weeks off your job to isolate if you come into contact with somebody who gets COVID, or if you get sick, you can't afford to
yeah.
sit around and not make money at your job, or if it gets worse, go to the hospital. God forbid.
Yeah, it's for us like here sa in the businesses we can't really afford to get another lockdown. Like something as for me as a dance choreographer and a Zoom instructor, my mom owns a dance studio. When like literally COVID hit, the government shut our studio down. We weren't able to do anything for 6 to 7 months, and to get around as stuff like like rent and electricity, all those things over to 6 7 months without having a job is quite insane. So to lose something like that ain't the best idea at all. Like you can't just I can't really say much about that, but you get it.
No, yeah.
It's just
I
the same.
totally get it. And, when COVID first, really, the lockdowns first started out here, I had actually just gotten out of the Navy. And, I was unemployed because I had left the Navy and I was looking for a job. And I got really lucky. I found a job in a few months. But, you know, I don't know how it works out there for you guys, but we had, unemployment checks, or, if you ran a business, they did try to help you out a little bit with the stimulus package.
Ah,
But,
yeah, we don't have that kind of thing
the
here.
hurdles.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we
so
don't have
even
that.
it would be even harder for you guys. But even the government hurdles to try and get paid out on unemployment or something like that. um I was unemployed for like 4 months or so, and trying to get the state of Washington to pay me out for unemployment because I'm ex-military, and qualified for it. It took me over 12 months. So if I didn't happen to just have money laying aside after I got out of the Navy, I would have been done. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Like that's a horrible situation to be in.
yeah, yeah, I get you. It was really hard. But compared to back then, how is 2021 right now, basically, for for you and like your scene itself?
It's coming along for sure. I mean, out here in the Pacific Northwest, P&W Air Dashers is a really cool group of people. Has a lot of big names. They do offline tournaments right now. So just a few hours away or whatever, you're playing offline with the people you know around your area. The rollback's usually not very high. It's zero
Yeah,
typically. So for right now, at least to Strive, it's okay to have the offline tournaments, and I think that success is carrying into other games. You see, Melty Blood now has a
yeah, the
rollback,
rollback.
which is going to be cool. Yep,
It,
exactly. So the scene's coming back. So, we'll get local games eventually once
yeah.
people figure out that they just have to take the vaccine and deal with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I hope I'm like for me I hopefully I will see people like, all of us we're just hoping that everyone will take the vaccine. It's part of everyone's safety, yeah? Like even if you don't want to take it, at least mind that there are people there. Take the vaccine even if you don't want to. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain what to do. It's because for me, I say you gotta take the vaccine. I took the vaccine. Everyone took the vaccine. It's a need basically because if you want something to come back, it's best we all be safe. And that's kind of hard to see that people are not taking into mentality that you know there is already some sort of I don't know if like it's a cure. There's some sort of cure already there, but it's there to like help you and whatnot to keep you on check, keep everybody on check, just so that we can all be at peace. But even with so like that, you still want to be precautious.
Oh yeah, I really hope that this shifts the culture in America a little bit more. I know some countries, like in the Far East, they have a very strong mask culture. If you're sick, you wear a mask. If you're coughing, you wear a mask. You
Yeah.
go to work, you wear a mask. And somebody can correct me, but that seems to be the impression that I get. And I hope that our culture
Uh,
comes more to that.
Actually, it's that's there in Asia itself. It's there in Asia. We also do that here in Oman, but I mean, I remember doing that in schools, in high school, back even in college, but I'm not sure in everyone else. But we do take that precaution as well.
And that's something that I hope that America does adopt because for us it's just we kind of just we walk into work, we cough, we finger gun, hey guys, I'm sick, and then you're like, all right, time to go. Got my 8 hour shift. I'll see you guys later.
It's like it's because of this. Um, it really like that it made me doubt twice of like should I go for CEO this December because CEO is coming back and I was like, hey, maybe I can go. I have the vaccine, but then afterwards, looking at the news and everything, I was like, maybe I want to think about this. That's that's really it kind of hurts.
Oh yeah, I know, and it's a bad impression. I mean, by and large, the majority of people in America, I feel like they've done some studies on it, right? Like 70% of us are for vaccines. Like the vast majority of people in America are pretty reasonable. It's just the problem is that if you're wandering around and especially in some areas like, Florida or Texas, people get interesting ideas. So they get upset about the idea of wearing a mask. Um, but I don't know. It's definitely something you have to weigh in your mind. The Evo exhibition, like all those guys who are coming from Europe
Mm-hmm.
or Latin America to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
participate in Evo,
yeah.
I can't imagine that decision. It's like if I win, do I go to America and risk getting COVID or dealing with the quarantine procedures just to play at an exhibition for Evo? Like, I don't know. It's definitely something you have to think about.
Yeah, it's like your health versus the versus what you want to do basically. Because if anything, your health is at like the highest stake right now. I wouldn't care about going anywhere but my health.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
because it's just insane how the things are there. As much as I love to travel and play games, which I kind of wish I did back then, but as of college and whatnot, it was quite hard. So right now, after finishing college in 2020, thinking that I would be traveling, kind of destroyed every possibility of having that. So yeah, please mind everybody. We want to get back to everything.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the exact same way. Being a part of the Navy, you don't get a lot of autonomy in your life. And I got out of the Navy and I was like, perfect. Now I get to go do whatever I want. I've got money for vacations. I can go visit places. If there's a pre-release for, if there's something I want to do, if there's Evo, I can go play. I can do whatever I want. And then COVID happened.
Well, my God, yeah, it's really, really just insane. All right, I got another question. It's like, yeah, like if you guys were to really take, to do offline events, whether right now or maybe later or so, if your area is already like, at a state where it's okay to do it, do you think how, I mean, not do you think how much of the precautions would be taken into there, basically?
I definitely think until there's a better handle on, what the future of the COVID variants or things like that go on. I think that obviously masks should be mandatory. If everybody's vaccinated, everybody's vaccinated, everybody's masked. I feel like that's pretty fair. Uh, and the cases in that particular area aren't too high. I think that's one of the biggest problems is that for some of these places, like my particular county, we had the mask mandate and then we lifted
Mm,
the mask mandate and then cases shot up.
bro, what?
And it's like, well, it's like, all right, perfect. There's no more mask mandate, and you guys just don't take it seriously anymore. So now we have to go back to the mask mandate and back to quarantining and stuff. And it's, as long as people take it seriously, I feel like offline events are totally possible.
Man, that's just ah like like you got a mask mandate and then later on been taken off and it just spike. That's insane. I can't
Yeah,
imagine
well,
being there.
people don't think it's serious anymore. It's like, oh, it's over. We're not wearing masks. It must be over.
Gosh. All right. So if you got anything thinking right now, are you what do you think? Will you see events in the West, Europe, Asia? I mean, Asia, okay, Japan and everyone. I think they're actually doing events right now, but of course they're taking every safety they have in the book to actually just host every event. But what do you think? Do you think we'll be able to run events offline again by next year, or do you feel we still need some time to like kick back and just recover? What do you think?
I think by next year, I'm sure we'll be seeing some of this stuff come back. We're already seeing a little bit.
Hmm.
I probably wouldn't go to Florida, but everywhere else probably will have something decent. I think that it's definitely possible within a year to have it be safe enough that we could go back and start doing offline tournaments again. I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
I miss going to LA actually. I went to America back in 2016 and again in 2016 back in 2011 and 2016. It was quite a time for me. I enjoyed every piece of the place there. I didn't know what Florida was until I got there. I've seen some interesting stuff. I've seen some interesting stuff that happened over there, but LA by sure, at least for me, I was able to live there for at least 1 month before I left. So I've seen a bit of the arcades and the scenes that's going on from there. Nothing too much. It's all cool. And I really wish I can go back to America just one more time to experience all of this again, like going to any event. But for me, the mentality that's been engraved to us because of how much we experienced, as well as couple of several lockdowns. I'm more like I want to kick back here in Oman till things really simmers. I don't care if events are really coming back, but you get me. Like we want to see some evidence that things will be going out very shortly or sooner or whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. It's like you said earlier, your health and safety comes first, and you know, it sucks because the people in the FGC are so passionate about what they do. I mean, you got Jordan or Jordan over here, and
Then
he plays a little bit of Strive, but he's not a huge Strive guy right now. Maybe he'll get into it soon, but he is so passionate of
dude,
running tournaments, running these beginner, like very all levels are welcome tournaments to get people into the scene. And that's the attitude in the FGC that I love, that people want to come together. And unfortunately right now it's just not possible to do it offline.
like a little bit of something about here for those who I mean, like everyone who's here knows already about Jourdain, but people like Jourdain is what, yeah, what I like to see about the FGC. I like when I came to Fantasy Strike, I've seen a lot of people, but nothing like Jourdain. He has the flipping energy. Like you go to his stream, you can feel him. Like he's really, I mean, you've seen him play Fantasy Strike, right? So you know his favorite character, the guy samurai. Oh, what is his name again? Onimaru. Yeah, dude loves this guy. Dude loves this character, and every time he swings that darn sword, you can just feel his energy, and that's what I like to see about this guy. Even and like when all this lockdowns and this entire things of COVID, you can count on people like him in the FGC just to fill the void, and like you want to chat, you want to watch someone play, he's there. And because of this, I feel like people in the FGC, no matter where you are, where you're in, or you're in the house, or you're in an event, they will somehow get to you and communicate with you, even if you're not gonna be communicating with them in the chat. You just want to watch something, right? You want to see them play. You want to see some fights. You want to get this energy going, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And Jordane's really good at it. And it's like Moopel said in the chat, it brings people together online in a way that you would probably never have met those people before. And it really helps out people, especially who might not be, maybe a little more, they're maybe a little more socially anxious.
Hmm.
I would say, like, going to my first offline tournaments, I'm like that. I didn't talk to anybody. I went to GameWorks in Seattle. I showed up. I went 0-2 and I went home. That was my first tournament, and it wasn't very fun. But going 0-2 online and then chatting with everybody in the chat, maybe you don't have to walk up and ask, hey, can I get in on this friendly? Somebody already has a room set up. We're doing friendlies in West Coast 42. Come join us, right? It helps out because the people who might be standing on the sidelines kind of get to ease their way in and join the community in a way that they might not have before.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's like about these kinds of people that you're part of the community because they do something that, like, even if you are not you're not good at fighting games, if you're like new, there are people openly willing enough for you to like play out. They want to see you. They just want to have fun. You want to interact. You want to play around with some games, and it doesn't matter when you lose, right? It's the community that we're all talking about here. We're just all gathered here because of what we love, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And some people, it really just, again, it allows people who might not be as forward, right? Like I consider myself kind of an introvert, and the online community really helps out in the sense that you just get to hop online. You might just join a room, and somebody's in an LFG saying, "Hey, anybody want to play Strive on PC? I got this room going." You hop into the room. You don't say any words. You play your games. You
Yeah.
say GGs, and you leave. And sometimes that's the kind of entry path that some people need, and it helps out.
Yeah, it, like even if you're a man with little tube or like little of words, as long as you get to play along with me or like with anyone, that's at least one communication we can get through, and that we both want one thing, and that's we want to spar.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's just here to try to get better. Everybody's just playing their game, having fun.
That's right. So, another question, like, if anything of this like events are coming back, you got any majors you want to try going? Like, do you have any majors in mind you want to go, like a combo breaker or something like,
I would love to go to all of them. I don't know if I'll have the vacation saved up,
mm,
but I definitely want to go to Evo the next time it's in person. I missed it this year because I was working that day, but
I mean, Evo never
next year for
happened.
sure, definitely gonna take some time off.
I mean, Evo never happened.
That's true. You're right. Evo didn't happen. That's true. I never saw. I didn't see anyone win Evo.
Like, I didn't even knew that we had Evo online tournaments until like Strive came in. And I was like, wait, wait, there it's actually back online? I thought after all what happened back in 2020 it wasn't. It turns out because of Sony, they're already running.
I know. Well, it's so crazy. There was like no advertisements. Nobody knew when Evo started. Nobody
Yeah.
knew when their pool was supposed to start. They were just over there at Sony headquarters putting they were stapling, little pieces of paper to the wall. They're like, Evo starts at this time. Be there, be square. They didn't post any of that online.
You know what I was like when I saw the Evo for Strives? I was like, oh, okay, let me check this one. Oh, it's a PS4. Hey, wait, nah, never mind. They're all in consoles.
I know, yeah, that too, man, and that's something that I don't understand, and it's so crazy to me that PS4 it's run by Sony, so that's why.
Yeah,
But
it's true. It's true.
PS4 is the quote unquote gold standard. PS5 now, and you have active latent input delay on these consoles. I just don't get why we're not all playing on PC.
hmm
But I don't know, crossplay eventually, hopefully that'll be nice.
I mean, if they do add it for Strive, but the thing is, from what I'm seeing, Strive and Melty both are. I mean, they both supply rollback, but they choose the route to not actually have the crossplay. And I think that's quite an interesting touch of the topic because as of recent, many people say, "Oh, crossplay without crossplay, the scene is about to die for this game." And people will say, "Oh, no rollback. Where this is the scene is gonna die," but then there is crossplay. It doesn't even think like there's no one way, and people are not really satisfied for what's going on. But I think after what happened with Stripe, it really just incentivized every kind of developer to do what's happening right now because the netcode in Strive is pretty crazy. Like I can play with people now in Europe and America. Yeah, okay, heads 200 ms. It's high, but not as crazy as getting 400 to 1000 ms with Street Fighter 5.
No, yeah, exactly. And people will never be satisfied. I mean, there's going to be problems if they implement crossplay too. One of the things I've been thinking about is, if there is input delay on PS4 and PS5, then how are you going to implement crossplay? Because wouldn't PC players just be better then? Because you wouldn't have input delay and they would. So how would you do that?
For me,
But
like in my experience, with playing on PC to PS4, like against with these players with Street Fighter 5, the biggest phenomenon that you would ever experience is your inputs getting eaten. Now, I know this also happens in Strive, but very, very rarely. But as of Street Fighter 5, it's like it happens constantly. Like it's unbearable. You have some you
yeah,
like you see this kind of you see this punish like oh, okay, he whiffed the DP. Okay, I can just crush counter this. But then all of a sudden, so since my standing roundhouse didn't come out, like why?
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the biggest things that was happening to me. I played Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle when it first came out, and I was a PC player, of course, and I didn't know about input delay at the time. So I went to GameWorks Seattle
Yeah.
and I loaded up Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, first time ever on a PS4, got into my match, and I was like, dude, I can't combo. What's going on? All my combos are dropping. And the guy next to me says, are you a PC player? And I go, yeah. And he's like, yeah, man, you're 4 frames behind.
Yeah, it was so weird for me, even with Street Fighter 5. When I started playing it on PC, like, okay, it's so smooth here. But then when I like opened up the console, it was like, why am I like on sandpaper? it is
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
so painful. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And especially in terms of crossplay, like Mopul said, compare it's like it's comparable to battle royale crossplay. It kind of there was like some sort of, I mean, the differences between like playing a pad to mouse and keyboard. The battle royale kind of ends up in a way that doesn't actually feel bad because the way how it lines up the shots and what you're doing. It's the same way as you're playing a fighting game with where you have to execute combos and whatnot. There in a shooter, you need to like line up your shots, right? And the input for that, like you just have to guide around the bullets or like spray frames or how do you call this one? What is that word? There is hit scan. Yeah, you have to like line with hit scan, and because on like console, it you have like a bit of an auto aim, so that's compensated for any kind of delay or input you would get. And but when we're playing fighting games, you have a lot of inconsistencies within console and PC when it comes to crossplay.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what they're gonna do about it because I feel like every time they try to create more quality of life for a fighting game, I feel like people are really quick to say, "Oh, well now it's a scrub game, It's bad." Like when Blaze Blue got the advanced input,
Mm,
where if you pressed a button, you'd get 5 frames of that input, and that helped 1 frame links, right?
yeah, yeah.
People instantly they were upset, they were mad. They're like, "Why is Blaze Blue the Street Fighter 4 of Guilty Gear? This sucks."
That is so weird. It was like weirder back then when you hear it, but then when you start playing it, it kind of makes sense in a way. Yeah, it was because it's how it was. Oh, hello, Fahad. Welcome to the chat. Yeah,
Hey man.
we're like long into this interview already, like 55 minutes in. Like wow.
But no, it's so true. And don't you think it's funny the way that time just repeats itself too? Because back in the day, 2010 wasn't it when Calamity Trigger came out?
Yeah.
People were interviewing Mori and saying, "Yo, why is this game the Street Fighter 4 of Guilty Gear?" And what did people say about Strive when they saw it? They're like, "This is the Street Fighter 5 of Guilty Gear."
It it
It's
it
crazy.
it is so funny how communities like view each game. I remember back when Street Fighter 4 came in, people say this sucks. I would rather play Third Strike. And then when Street Fighter 5 came in, Street Fighter 4 was better than this. I'm like, wait, what is going on? It's the same. It was the same thing going over and over. And when Strive came in, it is like the same phenomena going again and again. I was like, this cycle is not gonna end. It's best to just ignore this and just play and have fun. Don't let any other people was just like ruin your decision because the game you like playing or you want to play is there.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. It is so funny because it's like I don't hate on Exeter or whatever, but it's like when people were playing Exeter, they're like, "Oh, this isn't accent core, this is garbage." And then Strive came out and like, This isn't Exerd. This sucks.
I know, right? And, it is interesting. I mean, like, okay, I get Majin Obama about how he's feeling about Strive and Exert. He's a long player with Guild Gear. I can understand there are people who actually feel about Strive, but like, come on. When people say something, I remember when Sonic Fox said, like, when he uttered a word, that's where the whole entire chaos happened for Strive. And it was like,
Oh, I know.
I was like,
I know. It was like it all fell through right there, bro.
everyone was just enjoying Strive until Sonic Fox said something. I was like, wait, all because he just said a word. You guys have to fall. Yeah, you're actually gonna wheel with that? Come on, man.
I know. Well, people were just so they were internally grumpy. You know what I mean? They're pouting on the inside, and then they heard Sonic Fox was like, "Yeah, this game's kind of bland, and I don't think it's very good." And then it's like, "Yes, now I can come out with my hot takes. This game is garbage. See, I told you so. Sonic Fox agrees with me." It's like, bro, I'm just trying to press far slash. Come on, man.
It is so funny. And then the moment Leo got buffed,
Oh, I know.
yeah, that's where like, yeah, it's fun now.
Or Jacko came out and he was just like, yeah, I think now that Jacko's out, this game seems pretty interesting. And it's like, okay, buddy, sounds good.
Like I like, it's best to ignore the stakes because this is just their opinions at all costs. Enjoy what you play. It doesn't. I don't care if your game is like, bad or not. As long as you're having fun, then boy, I'm happy for you. It's not my game, but good for you. Don't let anybody stop you from playing. That's what it is.
Exactly, man. I totally agree with you. And it's like, I don't like Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm not a huge. The funniest part is I played DBFZ for like the entirety of its existence until Strive,
Mhm.
and I have like 800 or 900 hours in it. And the whole time I'm like, man, I hate this game, but it's the only game that's out right now.
That's the same thing for me. It was like I hate Street Fighter 5. I just played for Lara. And I was like, I want to stop playing this game, but I can't because this is the only game I got out there. Yes, I could have.
Exactly.
I would have gone. I could go back. I mean, I did. I can go play Fantasy Strike, but I wanted. I want more action to play. While Fantasy Strike is fun, I only would like to play it on some short bursts of time because it's not something I would actually push forward with it because I already have a much more experience. It feels like I'm taking a chill, like I'm chilling a bit with that game. So
Yeah.
there aren't
Yeah.
really other games out there. And during the time that like grabs my interest, sure I could have been playing Exert while it was there, but I have to also mind with the connection. I don't like delay based netcode connections. I mean, no one does. So even with Blaze Blue, it was hard. True, we got Parsec, but do people do really mind having to set that up? Because they want the convenience, right?
Yeah.
They really want convenience, and that's what Strive really did, and that's really good. I mean, Skullgirls did it too. Killer Instinct also have it, but then the community kind of just doesn't want to pick it up at any cost.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though, is that people want their game to have rollback. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Killer Instinct has rollback. That's cool, man, but I'll play it when, they do this or they do that, or when they create a cool character or something. But then it's like Strive gets rollback, and like Guilty Gear has rollback, baby. Time to
Yeah,
play fighting games are alive and well once again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, also here's another question. Um, do you think because after the effects of Accent Core and Strive, do you think Arc Systems will actually implement rollback to Central Fiction? Because that's what I'm seeing
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
On the
I hope so. That would be so sick.
I would love to see Central Fiction getting like getting back because the game is going on sales every time on Steam. You can grab it for like $6, and I'm like, why
Yeah.
no one no why can no one play this game? All right, because the netcode is bad, but Arc Systems loves to put it on sale. So, I mean, for me, I would say grab it and play it. But the problem is, you want to play with someone, right? That's a factor that you need to check basically. So if they did implement,
Yeah, exactly.
so if they do implement rollback, it would it would might revive a scene basically.
I agree, and that was the biggest problem when, we were waiting for Strive to come out. Me and my buddy would play other fighting games, and neither of us really were that into Dragon Ball Fighters.
Mm.
Neither of us were super into Grand Blue Versus. I played both a lot, and then just kind of got bored of them. But um, once we would like go back and play Exert, and then we'd be like, well, nobody's online to play with, so it's kind of boring. And then we picked up Central Fiction and played that together. And you want to practice online, but nobody's playing Central Fiction. So, some of these games, it'd be really great if they revive the community a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I really miss the time when Blaze Blue was alive. Okay, for me, Continuum Shift was actually my favorite version of like Blaze Blue. I would say two and Extend. One is alright. I mean, I can't really go back from the previous ones, but Extend and Continuum Shift Two was where I really fell in love with Blaze Blue. I did like it in Calamity Trigger, but when Continuum Shift, that's it was pure. It was like a chaos with that game. It was fuel chaos, especially the time when Makoto came in. You remember that? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it was crazy.
Well, I mean, nobody likes those like necessarily those vanilla versions of the game because man, I just remember I love Calamity Trigger. Calamity Trigger is the game that got me into fighting games, but
Yeah,
you know, you play V13 and you're like, man, I hate this game.
it was like going back to Calamity Trigger. It feels like like okay, look, any game that was starting from the beginning, even for Exert when Side and whatnot, this is all raw. Like you're getting the rawest version of the game ever. And I remember back in Exert, sorry, Exert, yeah, Exert Sign. Gosh, did you? I mean, I think you already know this, but Ram, her swords never had recoveries, so
Yep.
you can just go ham with it. Gosh, it was so crazy. And then like for Calamity Trigger, you got. Uh, Remind me, what was the most craziest things you can do with Calamity Trigger? It's been a long time.
Oh my God. What wasn't crazy in Calamity Trigger? You could, well, V13 was like the best zoner ever made in any fighting game
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
And then you had Carl Clover had a infinite loop that you couldn't burst or block. When the clap,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
doll clap,
yeah, yeah.
where yeah, so he
I
would he
remember
would
that.
air throw you and then call the clap,
Yeah, I
and if you
remember that.
burst, the
Damn.
clap would hit you. Yeah.
And also,
Uh,
there was also Tager. Wasn't it? Tager was also crazy in that game as well, as I remember. Gosh.
Tigger had some really good stuff for sure. I mean, if you put magnets on a grappler, that's like already really strong. But what was so funny is that like I don't remember what tier Tager was. I think he was down there with like Bang, I'm pretty sure. Um just because the other characters had such crazy tools. Arakune's curse mode
Ah,
would
yeah. God.
hit just yeah, he'd hit you from a low while jumping into the air and then curse you and put you into unblockable mix-ups.
I'd say his Vanilla Tager was OP.
Was he OP? I can't remember. We should look up a tier list. I actually can't remember the tier list off the top of my head. Tier
You
list Calamity Trigger.
you got one? Just tell me then. I want to see. I want to hear that because it's been a while. The Calamity Trigger was really crazy back then, and it fluctuates between players too.
Yeah, I'm seeing I can't find anything from a pro player or anything, but it looks like Bang, Hakumen, and Tager. were all kind of on the lower end. And then,
Yeah.
of course, oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
Rachel. Rachel had the most crazy mix-ups in that game if she
Oh
used her wind.
God, Rachel was actually crazy. I mean,
Yeah, like Rachel could like
I mean,
she'd triple overhead you.
there was loops, like a lot of loops that you could do in that game too. I can't
I
remember.
know, yeah.
Like I can't remember, but for me, the first thing I actually learned was with Noelle. I learned how to loop her. Wait, what is her? There was a loop she does. I can't remember what that was. No.
Yeah, no, she would do her drive, right? And then
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
like
That one. That one. That
she
song.
could do like it'd be like C and then she'd shoot you on the floor and then
Yeah,
dash forward and spin her gun and shoot you on the floor again.
yeah.
And she
That
could do that
song.
like 8 times, I think.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember doing that all for just 1 week because I wanted to try that. But wait, why? Wait,
um
what grabbed you to play Bang in that game though?
Uh, I just thought he was so funny, man. Like I don't know. It's like my kid mind. Maybe I wouldn't pick him again, but it was just like when you won with him, he'd like talk about green peppers and then explode and be only wearing a fundoshi. Like you'd go into Furinkazan and he'd have his own theme song. Like I don't know. To me, that was just like the coolest thing in the entire game, where you're just like you
Mopple.
hit a full four seal combo, you
Mm,
activate Furinkazan and just like bong 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 bong.
yeah, yeah. I like that he has an install, but playing that install was kind of wonky, right? Like you can block, but you can like you can fault you can do perfect block with it. And you can't block, but you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. But you to hear that theme song, it was just create like it's a good theme song too. It's a really
It
good.
was it was so sick because you knew if somebody activated that they were about to pop off. And it's
Yeah.
like either that or they were gonna run away from you the whole match. I remember when that was a meta back in that game too. You'd get four seals and a life lead
Yeah.
and you would just dash away.
Like for me, the who can like when I was playing Marvel back in that time, and when I saw that seal, I was like, wait, this is just basically like I'm playing Jill, because she had an install that puts her in a stance where you can move at 8-way directions. It's just kind of hard to control. And with that, I got with the Bang, but with Bang, you can control the momentum and how he moves and how you would like pressure and do your combos. He was a fun character to do it, especially when you land up all the nails.
Oh yeah, or you put when you put the nails on the like when you put the bumper up and you
Yeah.
could just like dash. It would be like you were in Furinkazan, but
Mm.
you could just use it normally. That was really strong.
Was this Mopo was like they're just shouting his name? Yeah, it's crazy. You know, like in the end of the day, I just hope that whatever reason there is, I really do hope that every fighting game do get the best netcode, and the best possible way of getting a netcode right now is with rollback, and it's kind of sad that some major games like the biggest legacy release game of this past time before Strive and everything was Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate, and it was crazy that the game did not got rollback. It was suffering. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And along with that, people just want the game to be the best version of itself. When people complain that a game doesn't have rollback, it's not like, they don't hate Melty Blood or like old Melty Blood. Some people don't like the characters. They think they're dripless or whatever. But
I don't
but like
understand that. Like I really don't understand that. Like they are designed as high school characters and whatnot. So to say that they're dipless is kind of a far stretch given what team the game is going for.
yeah, no, I mean they definitely don't look super cool, but I
No,
don't expect them to look like Blaze Blue characters or anything. I think Vlav looks really sick.
Well,
actually, and Noelle. I think both of those characters are cool. I'm probably gonna try both of those guys out.
for me, I'm gonna be the like for me, I play Arc in that game, and I might probably pick up Miyako after all this. I've been playing a bit of Miyako for a recent while because I like the her fight style because of Akira from Virtua Fighter. So
Mm.
to see and like a powerhouse that is like that short of a kid running past towards you and do a mix up that can just go around to 30 to 50% damage is insane, especially when you fail. She does. Yeah, I cannot say much because I'm still learning her in actress again, but she's actually fun. Although Arc is my main, you know how crazy she is with all the powerhouse like moveset she has, especially when she's in full moon.
Yeah, definitely. And that's usually the kind of thing that I like about characters in fighting games is that they have really fast options. So the Baji, it's she does Baji Quan, right?
Okay, that's the
That's
pronunciation.
that's
Yeah,
Miyako.
Bajiquan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she looked really cool too. I think my top picks for that game right now are I might try the Blood Hair Girl. I forget what her name is.
You mean
Uh,
Akihiko? I think. Ahiko.
yeah, yeah. Ahiko, I think it is,
Yeah,
right?
Ahiko.
Because
Probably Ahiko.
she
Yeah,
reminds me of Milia,
yeah, yeah.
and I like Milia a lot, so
Mm.
I might try her and then Noelle and Vlad just because they look sick.
For me, I want to try Miyako in this version for type Lumia because they kind of changed the stomp in a way that it just looks slow, but it kind of looks like it has a lot of plus frames. It kind of just
Yeah.
and she has a crazy phase through she has the elbow. Now when you shield or do something, it just changes all the direction. It's just crazy with her. So I want to try that, and they gave her a dash. They gave her a proper run. So that's what I want to see. They gave her a proper run.
uh how does that shield work, by the way? Is that basically like a vanish almost, where like you press the button and you block a hit and teleport? Is that how that works?
Okay, so now I'm not even sure how shield works because back in Melty, I mean like back in Actors Again, the shield was used to negate a lot of stuff and whatnot. And the way how Lumia portrays it, it kind of works like that way. But now you can teleport back. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with Lumia because there's a lot of new options that has been added, and it's quite interesting. And I think
Yeah,
it could
definitely.
shift a lot of stuff, especially how launchers work. Now there's a designated way of doing a launcher compared to how you launch back in the older Melty. So that's actually quite interesting. They also added like auto
Oh,
combos, and you can stop those auto combos if you want to, and it's pretty much it's doing a lot of stuff that is pretty um, good in my opinion. It's good for newcomers and veterans alike, so it did not actually destroy the integrity or whatnot, as like what people would say for Strive. You know?
yeah. I don't know. And it seems like they're kind of going in a direction similar to Dragon Ball Fighters, where you have like a launcher that's designated. You have that animation.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that if you in the trailers, it sort of did an animation every time they did a launcher, right?
yeah. It does. It closes up. It closes up every time you do the launcher.
Yeah. So there's definitely some like artistic and design directions I feel like they're
It's
getting a read of the room
the
for
good
sure.
the good thing about Lumia right now is that it's following the Tsukihime and Fate's art style, so it's much looking closer as it was originally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. I will say that if they had made a Fate fighting game, I'd be buying it day one, 100%. I would have been hype. Uh,
I would like that
I really
because
hope they
you know
do.
I would like that. I enjoy playing that that janky version of a fighter that 3D Fates. I can't remember the name was. I remember playing it before. It was just too chaotic. I haven't touched that for a
Yeah, I
while.
definitely would want it to be more. I'd want it to be more of like a real fighting game. But like if it was just this exact same game, but it was with all fake characters, I feel like I'd be a lot more excited for it. But that's just because I don't really know anything about Tsukihime yet. So
I mean, like for anything, I don't know, but Melty Blood, in part of me, I feel like they could actually add a Fates character into the game. But if they do, it's gonna really, rack up the sales because it's a Fates character. And I feel that like French Bread and Type Moon has the opportunity to do that, but we don't know for sure if they will actually do it. I mean, they did add a Tsukihime character back in Melty Blood Actors Again.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that'd be a really cool idea. Um, who would you want? Who would be the fake character you'd put in?
I don't know. There is a lot. Uh, okay, so look, if anything, yeah, they will not add Subaru to the game. Of all things, they won't add her. Sure, that would be like the biggest. It's like you're getting a McDonald's order, but with that, like it's like $10 for a Happy Meal.
Yeah. I would it would be cool to see like Archer or like even Berserker
no, actually,
from the Fate
actually,
Stay Night.
no, actually, Archer would make sense because in Tsukihime and Melty Blood, I think some of the characters did interacted with Archer, and he had her they had like a coat. There was something. There was an interaction they had with Archer, and he was mentioned multiple times before as well. So that'd be interesting to see if Archer will actually make it in.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I think all of the characters now are announced, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They're done with all the character announcements, so it'll be interesting to see what they do for DLC.
yeah, true. All right, so running back to what I say about rollback, um, I also believe that with good netcode, you can revive a dead game, and that showed with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, if you see what happened with 2020, this game was like ramping up out of nowhere, and no one expected it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So like with all the netcode aside, I think what could carry the game is what like what features, what kind of implementation they have. Because even without the best netcode, you can still survive. Like as you said, the franchise of the Dragon Ball carried itself even with the delay based netcode.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, there's certain things that people want to see in their games, features wise, and it's kind of it's sort of torn because a lot of people love seeing the crazy stuff, man. People love seeing what's in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, but a lot of that stuff most people don't think is very fun.
Yeah,
Like it's cool on the professional scene. When you can deal with it, dealing with like 8 high-low mix-ups and the assists and all this stuff that happens. But like if you look at like season one Dragon Ball Fighter Z
oh boy.
with the fuzzy setups off the throw loops,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like nobody wants to play that. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So I feel like the draw here is that new games have to be developed with a sense of balance that prevents anything that's really degenerate.
Yeah, I get you. It's even the same thing that I felt that happened with Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. That had a lot of things carrying itself, but the way it changed also affected how people looked at the game. While there are dedicated for fans for that game, and I kind of like it, but it's not my type of game. But I do like it because they had Persona and Under Night characters into it, and to see Ruby back then, like that was the oddest inclusion, but it was amazing. So even with the most known characters, known franchises you have, the integrity of how you change up the gameplay and the net code you implement, or basically the name it holds can change everything, basically.
Absolutely. And seeing Strive come out now, I feel like graphics also can't be slept on either. I feel like people really will want to see the level of graphical power that came with Strive come into other games. I know for one, I hope that one day they make a they make like a Blaze Blue Strive. I hope they make Blaze Blue Strive next. That'd be sick.
For me, in terms of how things of accessibility, um, Strive did take the liberties of trying to, make it feel lightish with the anime fighters. But in my opinion, the one that did the best out of it, scrapping Blaze Blue that tried to do something like that, and how Strive is, Persona 4 Arena is a game that I adore, where basically Arc System got to a point where they knew what they were doing and they made it accessible, but without throwing all the liberties. Was this from the game, from a fighting game? Basically, it's an anime fighter, but done right in how I see it. Because you got DPs that are two buttons. You got a lot of stuff that is just very on face and on point. You know what will do, and it's there for you to use.
Yeah, I actually really liked P4A. I played Labris.
Oh,
I
elaborate.
wasn't very good at the game, but I thought it was very fun.
Yeah, and you do understand how the game worked with its accessibility, right? And you saw how strong was the auto combo. the auto combo was
Yeah.
the auto combo was crazy, and I like in that time I didn't actually mind how the auto combo worked because of how the game was designed and the way
hmm
it made it equal. Like you can do this stuff for easy damage, which is okay high, or you can do the more crazy stuff that gives you more mileage and damage, you know? So there was a choice you got.
Absolutely.
So there was a choice you got.
I personally think that I don't mind auto combos as much as I
When you
don't like it when you don't have whiff recovery.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Dragon Ball Fighter Z not being able to whiff punish, and like if they just do an auto combo,
yeah.
like they try to jab at you or whatever, like you should be able to whiff punish that. I absolutely
Yo,
hate getting hit by Bardock auto combos,
bro, don't say this because you might actually attract a lot of Bardogs over here.
I know they're on their way, man. I could not stand that. That was one of the biggest offenders. Teen Gohan auto combos, bro, had me tilted.
Oh God. Yeah, so you know what? The first time I saw Bardock, and like when I heard that everyone that what is the craze, everyone will just say, "Oh, it's his auto combo. Definitely his auto combo."
Everybody hates the auto, and you just can't do it. I can't believe it. And they never stopped. All the good characters in the game, look at their auto combos. You can tell who's going to be S tier
Yeah,
based on their auto combo, bro.
true, true.
You just look at dude, SSJ4 Gogeta. That guy has his auto combo, and the last hit's head invul. It's an anti-air, so you can't even jump.
It is funny, really. Like, but it's like again, these are the choices of the developers, and as the players, I know we are here to actually correct this and give them a check. But what can we really do when they're like existing and you still need time to actually get this recovered?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, they're just gonna make the games the way they see fit. I trust Arxis Works and what they're doing, and it's clearly working. Strive has sold so many copies, so I
Mm,
really like Strive, and it looks like a lot of other people do too, regardless of what the haters say. So
yeah. All right, so I mean, we're getting a bit closer to for the last parts of our stream. So with that, I'll come down with another general form of questions. And with that, uh, what do you think of the future of Strive right now? Seeing that the October patch is along the way, we're just like blocks away for that thing to happen.
I really like the way that Strive is right now, and I
Same,
feel
same.
like the October patch will be a way for them. They've already kind of tried to say that the October patch is going to be a way for them to inject more complexity into the game a little by little, I feel like.
Mm.
And so it might not be Accent Core right now. And I hope it never gets to the level of Accent Core with some of the stuff that was in those games. But by this time next year, maybe Guilty Gear will be a lot more complicated than it is right now. Maybe the new characters will have new mechanics, and these patches that add stuff will change things that make the older players a little happier.
For me, I feel like, see, I really adore Strive. I like Strive. Although although my favorite of all Guilty Gears was Reload. That was an insane version of Guilty Gear XX Reload. That was insane. But for me, I adore Strive the way it is because it's basically different. It's not like any other Guilty Gear games out there. So to have it change its formulator, it kind of feels like it ain't Strive anymore. You get me? To change something
Yeah,
out of that game won't make it Strive. So I am happy how the game is right now. It's completely different from any other anime fighters, and it's accessible, right? Everyone likes a good netcode and how accessible it is. It this is the best gateway to anime fighters of all cases.
absolutely. I think they've taken some really great steps. I know everybody's glad to see Danger Time gone for sure. And then the no more 25% meter options is nice just because, you
Yeah,
get to basically skip neutral. It's more neutral oriented, it's more footsies oriented.
yeah,
So it's definitely a good direction in my opinion.
yeah. All right. So, are there any future fighting games that you're actually looking forward to play?
I am looking forward to see what Melty Blood is like for sure.
Yeah, same here.
And then I'm looking forward to DNF Duel.
Hmm.
And I hope King of Fighters is a pretty good one too, but I've never played a King of Fighters before either, but if it's starting to look good, then I'll probably try it out.
Actually, if you never tried any King of Fighters game, it would be best you actually, get a hang of the stuff. If you can't, you can try grabbing out 14, but if you're feeling like you want the fullest complexity of KOF, you got 98, 13, O2, and O2 Ultimate. There's a lot of stuff, but there are a lot of choices for you to try out for KOF. The most recent is 14, and that really did its stuff. It's more legacy at its best, but um, it is how it was. I don't know how to say much because my experience with 14 is still mellow. I love playing the game, but I'm not really into the same force of it because I got late to into it.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's definitely a series that I've always wanted to try out and just never really gotten around to because I don't really know a lot of people in it. But a fresh release will be good to just try out a new game.
It's a legacy game to Street Fighter. So if anything you play like Street Fighter, this is it, but much faster. It's like in the middle ground of both Street Fighter and anime fighters. I wouldn't say it's like an anime fighter because it plays more of Street Fighter, but faster, basically, like a faster version of Street
Okay,
Fighter. All right, so
that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like, all right, I asked you about that, about the future fighting games. Are there any fighting games you're willing to go back to when COVID goes down? Is there any game that you would want to go back and just relive it or give it a shot once more time?
I would if Blaze Blue Central Fiction got support. I would love to play that game. And really, I was okay at it. I've played it with friends, and I've never really taken it too seriously. But I would love to see a Blaze Blue game come back to the front lines of the fighting games without it being a spin-off like Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. I thought it was really
Same,
sad that that came out the way it did.
same,
And they
same.
didn't even have my boy. Bang never got in. Bang never made it.
What to do? It was sad, but yeah, if they do implement rollback, it could revive the scene, as I say. So we never know. We just have to see what art systems will just go around and you know do their thing if they can.
Yeah, I hope they do. I mean, it'd be really cool to see them working on the old games that people used to love like that.
All right, all right. So now here's another few couple check back questions. I'm gonna go for this one. So what do you really think for all cases? Should events run PCs or consoles? Given how things are right.
I'm not gonna lie, I would rather play on a PC 100% of the time,
Even
but
it wait with PC, right? In a tournament, right? You would play in a tournament.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you know, I don't know what the setup would look like. It's hard just because
Yeah, that's why I
a
want to ask.
PS4 is cheap.
Yeah, for me because I want to ask because like if you're taking out a PC, there's a lot of logistic problems that you're gonna go through with that kind of setup. Windows updates and Steam and yada yada, all those things.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, you could set up a local PC to play like, you know, a game and have a Steam account there to play on.
True.
I think the biggest issue is just the aspect of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
PS4s are cheap, so it's really hard to overcome the fact that you can just grab a PS4 for, you know, a couple $100 and set up 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. True. True. But then, like the thing about having a console is the conveniency. But the problem with this conveniency is like why the developers actually add, you know, an extra frame of input delay. It doesn't make sense why it exists. I don't know what was holding it back, but that thing is just pretty obscure, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Steam Deck is coming out, like Moople said. That might
Yeah,
be something that could really revamp it. The Steam Deck. I forgot about that.
that could be.
But from what I understand about the input delay, it has something to do with the way that the controller and the game communicate, and you can't get rid of it like that. They've optimized it in some way. I know Strive reduced it, but there's a certain level of input delay that you'll never be able to get rid of, just like you can't get rid of your input delay from, you know, your keyboard to your computer. There's some level of input delay there, but you can only optimize it so much, especially on consoles.
Damn, that's pretty sad. Because like
It,
if we want to run a tournament, we have to make do with this kind of setups, really.
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't change the facts, and I don't. Nobody's going to be willing to just dump a bunch of money into having a ton of PCs. So
Yeah.
hopefully, the Steam Deck that could be. I totally forgot about the Steam Deck, but that's definitely an option. I feel like in the future, we'll just have to see how that operates.
Hmm. Okay. So, all right. Have you ever played any kind of obscure fighting game in your time of the FGC? Anything like obscure that came to your hand?
You mean besides Blaze Blue?
Yeah, but I mean, besides Blaze Blue, like for me, the most obscure game that I've been like jawing my eye right now is Sailor Moon S, and that's been I've been binging a lot of matches on that one for a while. So you got anything that you want to give a shot, or you did give a shot?
You know, I actually haven't played any of the really small, crazy ones. Back in the day, you know, I used to have, I mean, fighting games would come out all the time, and I didn't play any of them in the FGC, but I think it was like, was it Primal Rage, the one where you fought as
Oh my
dinosaurs? That one was
god, that
pretty
was
sick.
that's some nostalgia, bro. All the digitized graphics and all.
Dude, that game was so fun, man. Like, actually, it was actually, I'd love to see that remake Primal Rage. If ASW makes Primal Rage come back, I'd play that right now.
It would be an interesting thing. It would be an interesting thing. By the way, we're almost now near ending. If you got any more questions, throw at. Feel free, because I'm still running. So I still have some few more questions before I do end this. Now, all right, like what's your call? What's your basic? I mean, like, sorry, not basic. What's your routine right now since COVID happened? Like, what's your routine right now? Like, what do you do?
Um, well, my job is pretty hands-on, so I used to work from home a lot, and now I don't. I usually just come in and I do my 8 hours at work, and I come back here and I play Guilty Gear Strive and hang out with my wife. And
Oh, you're married.
usually that's like the yeah, yeah. I'm married. Uh, been with my wife for about 6 years now.
Oh,
But
God bless.
we yeah, so usually I just come home, I hang out with her for a bit, and then I say, "All right, I'm gonna go play some games and work out or do whatever." Um, trying to get into fishing recently actually is I know a lot of people think fishing is boring, but trying to catch some of the Pacific Northwest salmon here pretty soon.
I mean, I can tell fishing is fun after playing a lot of big bass fishing.
Gotta get that big bass in there, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, fishing is cool. Fishing is cool. Yeah, I mean, like it's fun to see people actually enjoying that.
Yeah, yeah, and right now it's hard just because there's not a lot of stuff to go out and do. So,
Mm,
I mean, at least if you want to stay,
yeah,
safer, quote unquote,
yeah, yeah.
you can't just go out and party or do like stuff with a bunch of people right now.
Hmm. All right, so outside all of this, how is your online activity right nowadays? Given that Strive came in and whatnot, what do you usually do basically?
So usually on the weeknights I'm just playing Strive and Celestial. You'll find me grinding or I'm playing with the guys in the Strive Discord.
Yeah.
Um, and then on the weekends I just cram as many tournaments as I can in.
Oh, so you enter multiple tournaments at like different dates and venues at time?
Yeah, so last night I entered Super Battle Kitchen. I got second place on that.
Oh, congrats.
And then thanks, yeah. And then I'll try to do TCS, NLBC, and there's another one that happens every week. I forget the name of, but I try to go to all those big ones every week. And then on Monday I commentate for Strive Showdown, and that's pretty much my fighting game weekend.
Hey, shoot for the stars, bro. You're doing all good. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Now, last three questions. This is it. So, you got you got anything? All right. What's your arsenal? This is the I haven't actually asked you this. What is your arsenal of like when you're playing? Like, what are you using? Are you using sticks or using pad? Or you got a hitbox or a keyboard?
uh, this one really makes my best friend angry because he gave me a stick. He gave me an Itoki for my wedding,
Okay.
um, and I have just never been able to switch to a stick. I don't know what it is. I'm a pad player, uh, and you can say whatever you want to say about it
No,
about
I
being a
mean
pad player,
it's all cool. I
but
mean it's all cool. It's all cool.
but I'm stuck. I don't know what it is. I really like playing PS5 controller is actually really nice. I like that the D-pad is right where your thumb usually rests. That's something I hated about Xbox controllers when I
Oh
used to
yeah.
have an Xbox.
Yeah, the PS5 controller, the
Um,
DualShock 5 is pretty beefy. It's big.
yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. And it's responsive. I feel like nowadays it's not as serious to play on pad compared to a stick. Blaze Blue had 3 button option selects for throw and barrier guard, and that is like very difficult to do on a pad just because you only have one thumb, right? But nowadays a lot of these games actually make it a lot more accessible. They think about the controller more, I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's but yeah, I play on a PS5 controller wireless to my computer.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, yeah, now controls and how games are these days, they try to make sure that everyone can get their hands on and use or play. So it is good to see how much convenience are there for for us, both for the game and your hands and what you're using basically.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, so this is the last two right now. If the copies were lifted, what are the places you want to go basically for tournaments or places you want to go for a vacation, basically for vacation, playing or whatnot? You got any place in mind outside the U.S. or any state? Anything you got?
To play games, I want to hit up Evo. I would love to hit local arcades in Japan or anywhere like that. Right now, we're planning a vacation. We're gonna go to Cancun sometime next year to celebrate our honeymoon finally,
Oh, that's sweet.
and then we're going to set up another vacation sometime after that. And I think we're trying to go to Alaska for a bit. I'm not sure if there's any fighting game scenes out there. Somebody should let me know. But um, then I really want to set up after that a vacation to Japan and just like go hang out there for a few weeks and see everything. It'd be really fun.
That might depend though, because as of now, Japan is in a state of lockdown. So,
Yeah,
like to go there, you might need a special passport or so. So it's kind of hard.
true. Yeah, it's true. I'm hoping by the time I have like all my PTO saved up and everything's ready to go, that by the time we visit Japan, most of this done with.
Hmm. All right. So I'm right now at the end. I'll ask you the most final question of all before we end the stream. I mean, not exactly how we ended, but how we'll just close this. So for those out there, what is your advice for people who want to start out playing, fighting games or just try to get into community basically? What is your advice for them?
Um, my advice probably is to just pick a community that you want to be in. Go figure out a game that you like, that you love playing. Go play it. Don't worry about losing. Don't worry about whether you're the worst player at the table. Everybody's been the worst player in the arcade before.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
True.
and you just have to be resilient enough to get out there and expose yourself and get better if that's what you want to do. Just do what it is that you personally want to do. And if that's getting better, if that's playing casually, all of that's okay. Um, I know when I played Blaze Blue, I had a small play group. Some of them were very good players, and this Tager player, man, he would destroy me. He destroyed me. I think we played 2,000 games,
What?
and I beat him
Wait, what?
like
2000. How many hours is that?
we played. I mean, this is over like 3 years. This is over like a few years of playing Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger before Continuum Ship came out, and I
Okay.
met this guy. He was a Tager player, and I was Bang at the time, and there was a Rachel player. Both of them were way better than me, and I lost almost every single game I ever played against either one of them.
Mm,
But we just kept going until eventually I started winning a few. I was like, "Hey, now what?" Like it was a point of pride for me. It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let you guys beat me until I quit. I'm gonna beat you one of these days. And slowly that gap, closed up, and we became pretty even by the time Continuum Shift came out. So just be resilient, persistent in whatever it is you want to accomplish with what you're doing, whether that's just playing casually or trying to become competitive.
all right. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Here's an extra one. This is a small. I should be including it. If you're aiming to become a player, what like a bigger player on the scene. I mean, if you are, what is your goal basically? What is your goal here in the FGC?
Man, I'm just trying to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just honestly right now I'm doing it for fun. I like my job, so I don't really have any intentions of quitting. That's one of the biggest issues is I would love to stream and I'd love to do this whole thing more full time, but I'm not gonna make more than what I'm making right now doing that, so it's hard for me. Um, so yeah, right now I'm just trying to get involved with the community, commentate. I'd love to commentate more tournaments if anybody needs a commentary, and pretty much just make probably some YouTube videos, tech videos,
Mm-hmm.
try and help people learn the game.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I get you. So, well, that's how it is. I mean, as part of the community, we're all doing different things and jobs and whatnot. So, of course, we can't really attend much to a lot of things. But if we got time to game, interact, help people out. That's partially enough. That's really enough.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely just, I love this game. I love this community. Not here because I think I'm going to make a ton of money or anything. I play in tournaments every day of the weekend, and I think I've made like $100. But that's still something. It's fun. It's great. And with Match Arena and stuff like that, it's all crowdfunded these days.
Yeah.
So it just benefits everybody to have this activity in our community.
Yeah. Plus, you love doing it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And the game's amazing. I love Strive, probably one of my favorite fighting games to have come out. I personally thought we were in a fighting game drought. I know a lot of the games were coming out that people liked. Dragon Ball Fighters, Grand Blue versus BB Tag came out, but
Yeah.
none of those really satisfied the itch for me until Strive came out. So I'm really glad that there's a game that I can just dive into now.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I get you. It's the same thing with me because I was stuck with Street Fighter Five for a long time until Strive came into the picture. All right then.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, this is actually about it. Bro, thank you for coming in. Like this, I didn't have anyone else. I was trying to like tell my friends about like trying to join me around here. I was looking for available people, but their schedule is all like filled out, and plus because I'm living in a different time zone, I had to like you know recheck every space. Right now it's like, yeah, 12:35 for me. It's already tomorrow. 26.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
I really wanted to take the time. I wanted to revive my talk streams that I had an older channel, but since I had a problem with that with Twitch when it came to the age, because we're all dumb back. We're dumb back then when we have our age setting. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I decided to start with this fresh. Thank you for being part of the revival of this first episode. We titled this one. Sorry, I titled this one as Nails and Fire, featuring as the Symbolist because you play Bang and you play Soul, but you do play Milia, so I should have added something around that too. but but
Yeah, I
all
don't know. I think
yeah, but all
nails and fire and hair might not have sounded
yeah, I would
as
have.
sick.
But all is cool. All is cool. I was happy that I get to meet you on this is the Showdown Discord. It was funny because it was under like a small the small talk we had, but I just wanted to see for what stuff. But damn, at least I
Yeah,
got
dude,
you.
I'm glad.
I'm glad I got you. You're a cool dude, bro. And
Thanks, man.
I'm looking forward to what you'll be performing more in Strive, and maybe in the future games when Melted Blood comes in. You're definitely cool. I hope to see you more. Maybe we'll have another chat another day in a stream, or maybe we would be playing sets. Who knows? When I stream Guilty Gear Strive again, like tomorrow or what? So who knows?
Yeah, dude, hit me up anytime. It was really good to have this chat, and thanks for bringing me on.
Yeah, no problem. I should be thanking you because I've been trying to find people. And like, so you got anything before I close down the stream, or does anyone actually have anything to say here? If you got anything to say here, go ahead and type it down. But if anything before I close it down, you got anything to say, Simplest?
No, I think that's about it for me. You can find me. I'll be posting a little bit on YouTube under the Symbolist for tech videos and stuff that I make for Guilty Gear, and my Twitter is the Symbolist FGC. So
Yeah,
you can find me in either of those spots
yeah.
anytime.
You can find me. You can also find me in what's this in Twitter, as I do. What's this stream Strive? I cannot actually stream like Street Fighter Five, given my setup. I'm running on a GTX 1050, and my computer hates me. But as far as things go, I will be doing this interview every Saturday. So now my schedule will now revolve around Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for Strive, while the other three will be just me resting, and Saturday we'll just conduct another interview. So this concludes the first episode of the Our Lobbies. I wish my friend Tarek was here so he can actually sit down with us. He's a fun dude. He's not really part of the FGC, but he's someone who observes the FGC as like I took him in. You would have fun actually like talking with him as for someone who is actually like observing through all of this stuff. But maybe one day, who knows, when I grab you back for another interview.
Yeah, that'd be dope
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So, anyways, guys, my name is Francis Defying Zero, and that was the Symbolist. This was the Hour Lovelies, episode one, Nails and Fire. See you next stream, guys, or shall I say it's Saturday? But if you're gonna catch me on tomorrow for Strive, come along, or just hop along. See ya. I'm signing out.